Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name's Caitlin Gracia. I kind of have stories for you. Once upon a time, in 2014, there was a meningitis outbreak on my school campus, and I was sick. So I went to the hospital right across the road. And as soon as they found out that I was from university, they kicked me out. No, don't come in here. Go to Kingston Hospital, which is 30 minutes down the road in a different town. And at the time, my classmate thankfully knew where it was, and she took me. She sat with me for hours in the waiting room of accidents and emergency services, Annie, the English ER room. She did have to leave eventually before I was seen, and it wasn't long after that I was seen, and lo and behold, I didn't have meningitis, thank God, but I did have the flu. So fast forward 5 years to 2019, to right now. I do not have meningitis. I do not, thank God. We have an agreement. I have my vaccines. I did get a booster because I am terrified of catching meningitis. But I do have bronchitis. It is currently Thursday, but Monday of this week will have been week 6 of being ill. Monday was week 5.5 confirmed with a bronchitis diagnosis. Now, I was coughing long before that diagnosis, so I'm pretty sure that 6 weeks is a good estimate. That's what I've been using for bronchitis and not just ill. Honestly, I'm convinced, and I got sick, and then within 3 days, I had bronchitis. But I don't know, that first weekend was scary rough, the worst I've ever had, and I have always been a rather healthy child, but come the following week I had a solid diagnosis of bronchitis, and even then the doctor's like, oh yeah, you've had this for several days, so yay. So at the beginning of all this, I did go to learn today that it is because they do not have an A&E, which for American purposes is the ER. It is the emergency room. As an American, that is something I'm not accustomed to. I am accustomed to all hospitals having emergency rooms, or at least some sort of emergency service. Maybe I'm incorrect, but I'm from Atlanta, Georgia, so that's 2019 I'm learning that. The meningitis thing was 2014. It was 5 years ago. I also learned today that the GP, your normal doctor, yes, in England, it also means your normal doctor whom you go to for appointments. But GPs are designed in England so that you can walk in, if you're having an emergency problem, if you can't breathe, you can go to your GP and be seen that day. That is a doc in the box for the States. That is not our general practitioner. They do not do that, at least not any I have heard of. Again, it might be different in a different state, but from where I'm from, that is not the case. It's the 6th of December right now, and I have to make an appointment with my GP, with my American general practitioner, when I go home for a completely different reason. Now she's going to check my lungs as well, but it is going to be a bloody miracle if I can get an appointment with her. And it's 3 weeks out, so maybe that's shocking to English people, but that's quite normal where I'm from. I wasn't as shocked about this as I could have been because I actually already knew that England doesn't really give out antivirals. But I certainly was not okay with the fact. It was a school infirmary that I went to because that's who I'm signed up with. It was a nurse practitioner person. Honestly, she could have totally not had a medical degree, and I never would have known. Same level of disinterest and knowledge. She basically said, you have a viral bronchitis, go home. It could last 4 to 6 weeks. I wasn't loving the fact that I didn't get any meds. I didn't expect an antiviral because I already knew that, at least in my experience, doesn't really do antivirals, at least certainly not the way that America does. But bronchitis is one of those that's kind of scary. It's not something that you're necessarily instantaneously gonna die from, but it's up there with pneumonia. It's a bad one. And I was certainly not happy I thought it was a bacteria. I was like, yeah, we can get antibiotics, I'll be fine. Because truly, it wasn't even a cough. I sounded like a goose. I was honking. I was sleeping at this angle. I truly could not breathe. Somehow I managed to go to all my classes, but that was a damn miracle. But she sent me home, and 6 weeks later, I finally went back to the doctor because I'm like, I'm going home for Christmas, And my grandmother, she's in her 80s. Like, she does not fight. She's already slower. She doesn't fight infection the way that she used to. And this is the first time that she will be traveling, specifically on an airplane, in years. So, like, I can't be sick around her. And for that reason, I need to get flu shot. And the school wouldn't give it to me until I'm 2 weeks healthy, which would be too late going up to Christmas. So I pop by the hospital across the road from school. I go to the same school I did in 2014, so it's the same two hospitals in this story as in 2014. But I went to them, and I basically ended up in their GP office and was able to ask the lady, and she was getting all worked up as I was telling her, you know, I've been sick for 6 weeks. I'm still coughing. I have chest pain. I still have not breathing. Like, I'm still not healthy. And you could see her getting more and more upset. But, like, she finally said at one point, she's like, I do not have the medical training to give you advice, but I'm going to go ask a doctor so I can give you advice. And she scurried off and talked to somebody and came back, and she said, yeah, okay, so you need to go to the hospital today. You need to go to Kingston Hospital today, because we do not have an A&E. We do not have an emergency service. We cannot take care of you here, but you need to go tonight. You need to see a doctor tonight. You need to get meds tonight. You should never have even been sent home in the first place. Essentially, as soon as I had been diagnosed with bronchitis, I should have been sent to the hospital, is essentially what I was told. And so I did. Essentially, this woman, and clearly whomever she spoke to, was upset enough by the fact that I was still properly ill, despite feeling better now. Like, physically I feel fine, but I certainly wasn't breathing at full capacity. When I got short on breath, I was coughing. When I left, I coughed. When I lay flat, I cough and I purr like a cat. It's freaky. And it's just caught up, and my chest hurts, like I'm sore, and I did go, and I did manage to navigate Kingston Hospital to A&E, which anyone who's been there knows is a little difficult if you come in the wrong entrance, which I totally did. Somebody had to direct me. He was a very nice man. Got a chest x-ray. I got a breathing treatment. They did check, they stuck stickers to me, and they checked my chest and my heart. We confirmed that, you know, I was just sore. Breathing treatment was a nebulizer, which anyone who's had, you know what it is. For those who don't, I didn't. It's essentially a very, very high concentrated hospital grade dose of inhaler meds, and you sit there with a giant hospital mask on your face for 20 minutes. Doctor checked my breathing afterwards. She was like, this is so much better. Before, like, your breathing wasn't even reaching the bottom of your lungs. You sounded like a balloon squeaking out air, and now it's just clear. Checked my chest x-ray. Clearly have something, but it wasn't pneumonia. It wasn't something worse. Could be a post-viral infection, which, yay. We'll find out when I don't respond to the inhaler and I start getting worse. Or I will respond to the medication, the inhaler that she gave me, and it will have been bronchitis. Oh, I just noticed this. There's Braille on the front of the inhaler box. That's so good. America, take notes. Like, you should be better at this. While I'm not quite full capacity in my lungs, I'm almost there. Like, this is the deepest breath that I've been able to take in weeks. And I didn't cough. It's freaking shocking. I was video calling my parents just before making this video, and I was laughing so hard, and I wasn't coughing. It was amazing. So that's that. I feel like I'm really bad at story times because, like, technology is failing me. Welcome back to my channel. That was not a hiccup. Benny. Really? The first time I tried to record this, my phone died, and then it ran out of space. Now my laptop's dying. I don't know what that was. Small YouTuber life.